This is your Barbados Today Morning News Update for Wednesday, April 24th, 2019. Thanks for joining us. I'm Carol Williams. There's alarm in the tourism industry over reports that LIAT could be on the verge of closing down. CEO of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Senator Rudy Grant, is among those worried. He's warning that if this occurs, the tourism industry in Barbados and other regional countries will be dealt a major blow. Senator Grant was speaking against the backdrop of revelations by chairman of the LIAT shareholder governments, Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, that there appears to be reluctance by some countries to agree to the airline's request for $5.4 million to ensure its survival.
Last year, Barbados received approximately 110,000 Caribbean visitors, and I would imagine that a significant proportion of those visitors would have been on LIAT. In fact, in 2018, the Caribbean represented the third largest source market for Barbados. So you can see just from that basic information that LIAT is indeed a very important carrier to Barbados, and certainly it assists us in terms of the development of our tourism industry. But we shouldn't only look at LIAT in the context of its importance to Barbados. We also need to look at the regional importance. For many of the CARICOM countries, LIAT is responsible for transporting the majority of their visitors. And let me just explain that many of these countries provide support to their international carriers, be it Virgin, British Airways, WestJet, Air Canada, JetBlue.
Tighter controls will soon be in place for persons practicing dentistry. It follows a review of the Dental Registration Act. The announcement was made last night by Minister of Health and Wellness, Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostick, at the opening ceremony of a convention of the Caribbean Dental Program, Inc., being hosted at the Accra Beach Hotel and Spa.
Mandatory continuing education will soon be a prerequisite for license renewal, and the dental specialist register is to be established. These amendments, among others, will assist the general public in making more informed choices when seeking dental services and giving them the assurance that the highest standards and quality of care are being maintained.
Time is running out for 83 workers retrenched from the Ministry of Transport and Works last October. The unemployment benefit is about to end, and promised gratuity advancements are yet to materialize. While he voiced concern over the situation, Acting Deputy General Secretary of the National Union of Public Workers, Win Walron, said he has been assured that efforts are continuing to have the matter resolved.
Hopefully within a short time, I can't say it will be a month for this. My son is a month, but that these workers will get their gratuity type payments so that this man can be settled. We also appealing to be creditors of these workers who have been retrenched to bear with them, but credit union banks or other financial institutions to bear with them a little longer because it's not their fault. They never anticipated that the 10 years in the crown that they could find themselves being retrenched is a very strange phenomenon where you could be in service for 10 years and just simply be terminated like this. So they not be sent home after one year in this manner. So we are appealing to credits to bear these persons, and hopefully very soon they will get lots of money where they can at least make some further arrangement to deal with their indebtedness to the financial institution.
Bus terminals throughout the country continue to get facelifts in the wake of public outcry. The Transport Board's Marketing and Corporate Communications Manager, Linda Holder, says the improvements began at the Fairchild Street Bus Terminal and has since spread to the Princess Alice and Spicetown bus terminals.
We started with a complete industrial cleaning at all of the locations, and that will be continuing. We've also started addressing the issues with the bathrooms. That includes a series of painting and filling in any missing tiles or any of that nature. We are addressing the bathrooms as in the facilities themselves, and we are going to be continue to working on making sure that the situation never gets to the point it's at with that previously.
Months after repairs to the South Coast sewage system, businesses are still struggling to recover from lost revenue. At the same time, they tell Barbados Today they're happy a solution was found to the crisis. One of the businesses that has put recovery measures in place is Chicken Barn at Worthing, where Maria Codrington is the assistant branch manager.
Since we had the flooding, we had to close for some time, but since it's being fixed, we don't have that flooding anymore, and customers are happy and staff are happy, and we open with a makeover, with a bang. So we have a salad bar, which is new to this branch, and we have customers coming more than before. So we're doing good business here in Worthing.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In the Bahamas, the clergy is giving its full support to a march against child sexual molestation. We get more from ZNS News.
The church has had its fair share of criticisms from some in the community who have questioned their collective weight on this matter. Apostle Anthony Grant says while within the four walls of the church, as a body, they speak out against this heinous act. More must be done, he admits, publicly to bring awareness.
When you think about speaking out in public about it, yes, you haven't heard from the church as much as you should maybe, but pastors preach it all the time. They talk to the congregations about it all the time. So it's out there, and our people know that we have a problem with it, that we're against it, and that the children need a voice. This kind of thing going on in our community is destructive to the next generation. I was reading where the statistics shows that those young people who are sexually promiscuous, 45% of them have been molested.
Pastor Zadrick Backles of Life Holiness and Apostle Ann Grant of Agape House Church agree, but they say the people of Grand Bahama must stand up as well.
And finally, the UN Security Council yesterday approved a watered-down resolution on sexual violence in conflicts. But its decision to eliminate language on providing survivors sexual and reproductive health care in order to get U.S. support has been criticized by France. Co-director of the Women's Rights Division at Human Rights Watch, Amanda Klassin, spoke to France 24.
Sexual violence in conflict and the disparate ways that women and girls experience violence in conflict is something that over 20 years the world has actually tried to pay attention to, tried to address. And we've been increasingly seeing accountability for this type of crime, and yet this resolution signals a real backing away of a movement towards holding people accountable for this type of crime. It's really such a pervasive form of violence against women, sexual violence in conflict, rape and war, and to have there be backtracking on this is really, it's unspeakable.
The U.S., obviously, you mentioned the U.S. role, the Trump administration, but Russia and China, too, vetoing it.
There was a lot of discussion about a formal mechanism in order to hold perpetrators of this type of violence accountable. And really, China and Russia showing that they're willing to veto a resolution to move forward protections for sexual violence in conflict is just really, or for survivors, is really a demonstration of how women's rights globally are put on the chopping block for political gain.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. And sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Carol Williams. Have a good day.